Essentially, I put my whole life into this.
ESL R1 is extremely unforgiving.
It is definitely a lot of pressure.
I'm always going to want to win.
And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go!
Potential jump start from Josh Rogers.
Back, his number might be up.
We want to dominate the scene.
I've dedicated my whole life to racing in general.
There's food. Let's go. Yep. Don't do that, man.
I live together with my teammates, with Josh, Mitchell and Dane. We live together in the same house. We usually have dinner together. I'm always the guy that cooks every evening. The other guys also just don't know how to operate a kitchen.
Thank you, mother.
It's a lot of fun, to be honest. It's just through my friends that you're living with. We practice together. Mitchell and I do a lot of training together for exercise-wise.
Don't worry. I'm clean. No, that's not fair.
Clear jump start.
It's kind of like a family. Like, you kind of know everyone's tendencies and stuff like that. I think it was clean, but just a little bit not ultra on the edge. Like, I could have gone deeper to turn 2. When you have people that kind of get a sense of where your head's at, can automatically give that support without you having to ask for it.
You can use the inside curb sometimes, and it hooks it up.
The raised one.
Like third gear, full throttle, get it to start sliding, and then shift.
Having your teammates be willing to work with you, let's say you're struggling on something specific, they can, jump in and be like, hey, let's work on this together. I can help you. We can work on this thing specifically. It wasn't too beneficial to use too much lock like we've seen some other teams doing. You can kind of get a sense when someone's down, and you can pick them up with just kind of talking through things.
I moved from Australia, being able to live with my friends. It made a big difference for sure. If I was coming over here and living on my own and trying to do this that way, I think it would have been a lot more difficult. I haven't necessarily had to go out and do much on my own because we've always been as a group.
Man, you're just cheating now. You're honestly just cheating.
It's like a big group of friends working together towards a goal. And now that the team is partnered with Porsche, I feel like it's gotten to a higher standard.
So it's finals day of the final round of the ESL R1 Spring season. For me, P3, so I'll be racing in semi-final 2. Mitchell managed to get through with a spectacular pass for P6, so he'll be racing today in semi-final 1.
Okay, let's go here. Oh, impossible, man, impossible.
Unfortunately, Dane got taken out in the hairpin on Friday, which was honestly really tough to watch.
Let's race him.
2 reckless drivers got together on the run up into the hairpin, and even though they were a second half behind, they managed to run into the back of us into the mid corner. So that's really disappointing.
It sucks not being able to compete at the major. That's life.
R1 is just really cutthroat. If you make one mistake, or if someone else makes their mistake, you're out of it.
There's so much pressure on the individual driver. It's a mental game more than anything else.
It's all up for grabs, so.
Yeah, that's the worst actually, when you can't really participate anymore and have your own.
Yeah. It would have been nicer to just drive myself and then take care of it myself. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mac started out with a qualifying ban, but he managed to push forward really, really well up into P8 and score some very, very important points for him.
I think there's a lot of people that have a really good, they don't need too many points, so they're pretty safe in getting by me, but I think there's 3 that need a lot of points, so I hope those 3 don't make it, and then I'm 24th.
And then you have another chance to really like show what you can do in Munich.
Yeah, I hope so.
Porsche Motorsports, of course, have a big heritage and big history in motorsports. And this is, of course, then also the expectation that we have when it comes to like our Porsche Coanda Esports racing team. And that is, of course, to win races and to be the best and fastest esports racing team.
It is definitely a lot of pressure. We want to win the whole thing in the end.
Mitchell de Jong looking to come and spoil the party. Only goes 4th fastest. 4 drivers within the same 10th of a second. Extraordinary.
But it's insanely competitive and so on the edge.
You beat Luke Bennett by exactly 0.000. Good job.
We'll see how this one unfolds as we'll take a look at our starting grid for semi-final number 1 as we'll race down towards the first corner, a slightly slower start.
Let's go.
Enter now Mitchell de Jong as well with an almighty send. Heading through now into the 2nd sector. They go in tandem now.
The level at the top end is higher in sim racing. In real racing, you have a lot of times differences between cars that are quite a bit larger than what we would have in the sim. Also, just the limited amount of time that you can practice in the real car is super difficult. Whereas in the sim, it's 24 hours a day if you have the physical ability. And you have to kind of think about any time that you're not driving, one of your competitors could be driving and getting better and faster than you. So you really need to manage your time, and I've kind of dedicated my whole life to racing. I never really liked school, just something I had to do. And I don't know, I just love driving. I feel like it's something I was almost meant to do. Like, I grew up in a race shop, my dad building cars, they had a business, my dad racing. I grew up racing. To be honest, I don't really know anything different.
I don't even have a driver's license yet, but I've been racing this buggy for the first year, this year. But I also raced since I was 5. I am 14.
I started racing when I was 5 in go-karts. Eventually that progressively moved into rallycross and had some good success with that.
Sponsored head to toe.
And there was a point where I picked up sim racing as a training tool for real racing, and eventually I ended up kind of putting on the same level as real racing.
And then the trio of Baldwin, de Jong and Bennett does beat McCormack out across the line.
And I'm happy to have done it.
Checking in once again with our tier list of drivers that we have in contention for the major.
I need 2 people here to not overtake me in points.
There's nothing more they can do. They've got to sit back and hope that things go in their favour now. Same for Matt Backham as well.
We all believe in our minds that we all have the ability to win, each of us. So it's just really trying to get everything out of yourselves for each week and recognize that it is a bit of a team effort, and we get a bit more out of ourselves if we work hard together.
You need water. I'm water boy now. So when you don't race, you're the water boy. You know?
Oh, that's pretty good.
I'm insane. I'm literally insane.
I really wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid. And then as I got a little bit older, like early teenage years, I realized how much you have to read as a lawyer. And I dislike reading books and all that shit, so I was like, I'm not becoming a lawyer. And then I found gaming, and then I prefer to spend my time gaming rather than doing homework and stuff, so I just like, all right, I'll just see where it takes me.
Essentially, I put my whole life into this.
And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go! Joshua Rogers also looking to try and get himself into the mix.
I've always been a very competitive person. That's often led me to always want to be the best at what I do.
This is getting dicey as they head into the arena section. Let's see Rogers down the inside, fending off Kasdorp.
Usually I don't get that nervous when I watch my teammates drive. but I kind of was like, okay, I'm kind of in this even though I'm not actually in it because I'm not driving.
They come through the middle sector now here on lap 9 of 10. Joshua Rogers ahead of him.
If I'm going to do something, I want to do it 110%.
Would you say now you're where you want to be?
I'm not having to sit in an office from 9 to 5 just typing away on a computer all day. I'm very much where I want to be. I still remember the first day I went karting.
Joshua Rogers ahead of him, who's twice.
I burnt my arm on the engine getting out because it didn't have a suit. It was just a long sleeve shirt and it slid back, and I went to school with these like really cool like fin mark burns, and I thought, yeah, this is fun.
Joshua Rogers in the mix too.
And then hope for the best with Sebi now.
Is he the only one now that decides it?
Yeah.
So Sebi's not allowed to become better than 4?
Yeah, if he's P5 it's good, if he's P4 I think it's over.
Okay.
Learning like what they do in certain situations is something that I need to do a lot more, I think. Ever since I joined the team, that's sort of what I've gained from the most, learning from the best drivers in the world, basically.
For the most part, I think, growing up was always like just driving cars. And I think sim racing sort of did that in a way that I didn't have to be rich to like make it there myself.
The last of our finals in the online spring season, and the final journeys to Munich. Was that a potential jump start though from Josh Rogers from 5th position on the grid?
Josh on drive through.
No.
Because of a jump start, and then he will be P12 then.
Man.
That could essentially be the factor of Mac making it or not. That was obviously weighing on my mind.
Come on, dive.
That feeling of that you didn't live up to the expectation. Frustration, disappointment, confusion.
If you let it bother you, the more it will still like stick around in your head, and you'll have it in the back of your head. Like the best thing to do is just forget about it. It's like, it's not like you made a mistake. I don't know how to explain it.
I did make a mistake this time. Every other time it was the game like trolling me, but like.
But it's not something like you're. I don't know. Like you don't. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like it just happened. Like it's not a big deal. It's not like something you have to work on. Like you just, you know. So just brush it off. Still made the final. P3. You're the GOAT.
Like I've never jumped so many starts in my life.
After the race, Mitchell was talking to me a lot. It, absolutely helps process those things.
From our side, it's the goal to give them the freedom and the possibilities to work this out, because I think this is also a learning thing when you realize for yourself to overcome those situations and to deal with those mental challenges leading up to a race event. I think that makes you stronger long term.
Good so far. I guess there won't be anything changing, so.
That means that the Big Mac Backham goes through to the major, Jasmine.
Welcome to the major.
I think so.
Yeah.
Going to Munich itself is nice. Happy to go there, see everyone again, race against the people there. That's going to be the most fun, and I'm happy I made it.
Yes, P24.
Yeah, quite a relief. Thank you.
And we need you.
It was really cool seeing Mac just make it into the major, and obviously Josh and Mitchell are pretty safe.
Going to the major, obviously, the goal was to win. I'm a little bit on the back foot, but there's still plenty of points on offer on the Saturday.
At least for me, like, if some miracle happened and I won, like, this would be the elation I guess I would feel from, like, all the hardships, like, through the whole season. To, like, have it work out in the end would just be insane.
I think can count on one hand how many results that I'm happy with that I've gotten since being in the team, which sucks.
I want to be top 3, top 5.
Yeah, of course.
Like the whole time, and not just half the time.
For sure the goal was to win. We made it this far. There's no point giving up now.
I just feel like I'd just be like happy, like grateful that all my jump starts didn't completely ruin the whole year. You know what I mean? Like
there's just loads of seconds, you know. It's like, oh man, it'd be nice to like win it.
I'm always going to want to win.
It's just a privilege really to be in this situation, and then yeah, to get something big out of it, I think that's pretty significant. We are living the dream for sure. And yeah, it's a cool thing to live and breathe kind of what we do here.